The restaurant had been chosen for what it suggested: polish, success, cohesion. Linen napkins folded into quiet confidence. Low light that forgave faces. The kind of place where people talked about milestones, without specifying which ones. Liam arrived on time and took the chair he was given, which happened to be at the far end, angled slightly away from the center of the table. He noted this the way he noted everything now, without feeling much about it. Not insulted, not grateful. Just recording. His brother Mark had booked the table. Mark liked being seen arranging things. He wore a jacket that implied he knew the owner, even if he didn't. When the waiter came, Mark ordered with the certainty of someone used to an audience. He waved off prices with a smile that said this was all handled. Liam listened more than he spoke. He'd learned that listening kept the room smooth. When the glasses came, champagne for the table, sparkling water for Liam, Mark stood. He tapped his glass with a fork. The sound cut cleanly through the table's overlapping stories. "To family," Mark said. He paused, smiling, waiting for the rhythm to find him. "Except for Liam," he added, tilting his head. "He's just the adopted one." The laugh came easily, not sharp, not cruel. Familiar. It moved around the table, like a breeze that everyone pretended not to feel. Liam smiled because that was still the simplest response. His body did it before his mind weighed options. He lifted his glass halfway and set it down again. He didn't look at Mark. He looked at the condensation on his water glass and noticed how it pooled, then slid. He thought, briefly, about how often people confused comfort with kindness. The meal progressed. Courses arrived in careful sequence. Mark told stories that positioned him well. Others filled in laughter where it was expected. Liam answered questions concisely. He did not volunteer details. Halfway through dessert, the waiter approached Liam, not Mark. This was not accidental. The waiter's posture was polite but practiced, his expression neutral. He placed the bill folder down, gently, as if setting something fragile on a table that might shake. Liam opened it. The number was precise. $3,270. It reflected ambition more than appetite. He closed the folder and slid it back, not quickly, not dramatically. Just enough that the waiter would understand this was not his responsibility. "Could you try my brother's card?" Liam said, quietly. He booked the table under his name. The waiter blinked once, recalibrating. "Of course," he said, and turned toward Mark. Mark's smile faltered, not vanished, just delayed. "Oh," he said, "I thought—" The waiter waited. Mark reached into his pocket. He pulled out a card with the confidence of someone who had not considered this moment. He handed it over with a laugh meant to smooth the exchange. "All good," he said. The waiter left. Silence expanded in small increments. Someone cleared their throat. A fork tapped a plate and then stopped. When the waiter returned, he did not smile. "I'm sorry," he said, addressing Mark. "The card didn't go through." Mark frowned. "Try it again." "I did," the waiter said. "Twice." Mark laughed, a fraction too loudly. "That's strange." The waiter nodded. "Would you like to use another form of payment?" Mark looked around the table. It was a quick scan, almost involuntary. He did not look at Liam. Before he could speak, the manager arrived. Not summoned loudly, not announced, just present. She wore black and carried a tablet. Her voice was calm, trained to lower rooms by half a degree. "Good evening," she said. "I understand there's an issue with payment." Mark straightened. "Yes. There must be a mistake." She consulted the tablet. "The reservation is under your name," she said. "And the total reflects the orders placed. We can hold the table while you arrange payment." Her phrasing was deliberate. Arrange. Not resolve. Not fix. Liam watched the exchange with interest that surprised him. Not satisfaction, he didn't feel that. More like clarity. The room had shifted from performance to process. He preferred process. Mark's voice tightened. "My brother—" The manager glanced at Liam, then back to Mark. "Sir?" she said evenly. "Payment responsibility rests with the reservation holder unless otherwise arranged in advance." There it was. Authority without accusation. Clear, unmistakable. Mark swallowed. "I need a minute," he said. The manager nodded. "Of course." She stepped back, close enough to remain present. No one spoke. The joke from earlier had nowhere to sit now. It hovered, awkward and exposed. Liam did not offer his card. He did not explain his finances. He did not meet anyone's eyes. He folded his napkin and placed it beside his plate. Eventually, Mark paid. Not without effort. Not without a visible recalculation of pride. The manager thanked him and left. Dessert went untouched. When they stood to leave, Mark avoided Liam's gaze. There was no apology. There didn't need to be. The absence of another joke was enough. Outside, the night air felt clean. Liam paused on the sidewalk, listening to the city resume its usual rhythm. He realized his hands were steady. He walked away before anyone suggested another drink, another attempt at repair. Some things did not require conversation to be understood. Later, alone, he would think about what had changed. Not how they saw him. That would take longer, if it happened at all. But how he saw himself in rooms like that. He had not raised his voice. He had not corrected anyone's language. He had simply declined to participate in the role assigned to him. The consequence would echo quietly. Fewer invitations, perhaps. More careful jokes. A recalibration that felt less like victory and more like alignment. Liam was fine with that. He had never wanted the toast.